This is episode 638, and today we're going to be talking about how to expand your comfort zone in as little as 6 steps. I've called it also your complacent zone, but the comfort zone, there's been so much written about it, and we often now there's probably so much exposure to it that we often discount how significant the comfort zone is for each of us. Most of us avoid discomfort at all costs. Fear of public speaking, the fear of talking to a stranger, fear of asking for a raise, whatever it may be, the fear of changing trying a new food, whatever it is, most of us avoid discomfort, and discomfort's the key. And it's the biggest limiting factor for most people, right? When we push through our discomfort, then we're not just, we have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And when we push through our discomfort, then there's amazing things on the other side of that. And we talk about fear like being a wall and a breakthrough and all these other stuff. And it really is, if you think about it, it is an invisible fence. Like it keeps dogs in. You don't see it. They run, they get shocked, they move back. That's what happens with us. We have this invisible fence in our mind that we get close to leaving it, and we have an imaginary shock of what it's going to be like, so we back away from it, just like dogs and invisible fences. But if you could handle discomfort better, you would stop procrastinating. You would just quit dieting and just eating correctly. You would exercise. You would do those things that you wanted to do, but felt that they were, quote, discomfort, or there would be some sort of a discomfort attached with it. And when we can handle those discomforts, move through them, kind of like a dog going, hey, I'm not going to die. I'm just going to run. I did have a dog. I had Great Pyrenees that would run through the invisible fence. It would lift its head up, and at this time there was a unidirectional invisible fence, lift its head up and go through the invincible fence. So it knew how to handle its own comfort zone. And that's what we can do too. We can ignore whatever's happening. And when we can do that, you probably have a much more fulfilling and exciting life if you looked at things that, quote, frightened you and perhaps relabeled them as things that excited you. It still can be discomfort, but it depends how we look at it. So we're going to go through some processes here that may seem logical, but the question is, are you doing them? Are you constantly expanding your comfort zone? That's one of the C's in mental strength is challenge. Challenge yourself to be out of your comfort zone regularly. That doesn't mean once a year, preferably once a week, maximum once a month, minimum once a month. So we're going to go through some steps here on how to expand your comfort zone. So the first one is start with something that's difficult, but not too challenging, right? We don't want to overwhelm ourselves with, oh, I'm going to run a marathon, and you haven't even walked 9,000 steps in a day. So perhaps the start would be something small. I'm going to walk 10,000 steps today. Start with it. Maybe if you only done 2,000 steps a day, doing 10,000 is going to be difficult, but it's not going to be too challenging. So you start slowly, and you'll always add a little bit of time or extra to each week. So let's just say the goal was 10,000 steps in 3 weeks, and right now you're at 2,000. So tomorrow you would do 2,000, let's say 200. The next day you would do 2,500, and then 3,000. You would add approximately 500 to 1,000 steps every day, just a little bit to it. And then by the time in 3 weeks, by that time comes up, you'd be at your 10,000 steps, and when you get to it in the beginning, you might be, okay, this is great. I can do an extra 500. And then at some point, you may think, wow, I used to do 2,000 and now I'm at 6,000. I got 4,000 to go. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that. That's going to be the discomfort part. In the beginning, it's going to feel good because you're making these small changes. But then at some point, you're going to say, I have so much more to go. And instead of looking at how far you have come. So in order to push through that discomfort and urge to stop, We want to look at how far you have come and just repeat that one day at a time. So we push through it's going to happen. Anytime we push through our comfort zone, there's going to be some discomfort and challenges there. And we want to acknowledge it, and we just want to keep on going. Japanese have a philosophy called Kaizen, a little bit better every day. And even if you have to just do 50 steps more a day, you may not reach your goal in 3 weeks, but you'll reach your goal in 5 weeks. So that's why we can extend the time frame, but we want to make progress every single day towards that goal. In this particular case, 10,000 steps. And observe your discomfort. Simply observing it and not becoming emotionally involved with the discomfort, it will lessen. With emotions, it's called riding the wave. When we have this emotion comes up, we want to act on it. When we have this discomfort come up, we want to act on it and stop. But if we feel it and sit with it, go, boy, this is really challenging, but then start to identify where that discomfort is in our body. What color is it? Is it pulsating? Is it steady state? Is it in the heart? And when we start to notice the areas of the discomfort and take away the label, that energy tends to subside. Like you ride this big wave and you're thrilled to death, and then the wave crashes, you're still on your board, and you come to shore safe and sound. That's what we want to do with this discomfort, or actually all of our emotions, right, is ride the wave. You know, when the going gets tough, take a deep breath, force yourself to smile, or watch something funny, watch somebody making fun of doing 10,000 steps, and just add some humor while you're doing it. If you're out and you purposely want to just walk 1,000 steps on your own, perhaps put in a comedy podcast and then work through that discomfort. Humor is great. Humor is awesome in relieving that discomfort, because in the beginning, if you are feeling that discomfort and you don't have a distraction per se, and you don't know how to ride the wave, that discomfort may take over. So if riding the wave doesn't work for you yet, then try some comedy when you're reaching that area. And then again, just continue to push yourself a little bit further each time. Each time you push through that discomfort, it will get easier. So again, let's say you're at 2,000, you want to get to 10,000, you do 500 steps a day, and then you start to go, this is really, I just can't do this. It's all mental. If it's physical discomfort, right, want to get checked out with a doctor, physical therapist, whatever that might be. But if it's a mental discomfort, then you go, okay, I'm going to do, instead of 500, I'm going to do 250 steps, and you do 250 steps extra for 4 more days, and that gets tough. Then you do 100, and then you do 50, and then if you have to, you just do 10 more. But all the time you're adding to that 2,000. So one day maybe 2,000, then 3,000, then 4,000, then 5,000, then 5,500, then 5,600. Right? So you're going to have these cumulative effects, but you just keep adding to it until you get that 10,000 done. And it's done every single day. So you build up the consistency, you build up the discipline. You may shorten the steps and lengthen the time of the achievement, but when it's done, you have expanded your comfort zone because you did it once, you can do it again. And you can apply this to all sorts of areas of your life. So this is a great, very basic, very easy way to expand your comfort zone. Keep in mind, you've been living in your comfort zone for a while, whatever that revolves. It could be around your steps, it could be around nutrition. You've been there for a long time. So patience is the key, because you didn't get to where you are overnight, and you're not going to get to where you want to be overnight. But patience will help you persevere through those down times, right? Think Kaizen, a little bit better every day, and acknowledge the small progressions you make. Pay attention to your progress, not how much more you have to go, and the progress will help keep you inspired and motivated to keep going. If you'd like to see the show notes on this podcast, you can visit me at warriormindcoach.com. Over there, you'll find some blog posts, other podcasts, and useful information in developing the mental strength of a warrior. Since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.